What if your hotel had a voice assistant that could answer calls and book rooms completely automatically? In this video, I will show you exactly how to build that using AI, VAPI, and make.com with no code required. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I create videos on AI and automation to help you build real-world tools with zero fluff. Today, we're building an inbound voice agent for a hotel, which is powered by VAPI and connected to a Google Sheet using make.com. The assistant is going to handle real-time booking requests over the phone, check availability, and store the guest's info. Let's dive in. So the first step would be to create two different Google Sheets in Google Drive. So the first Google Sheet, it's going to be called Room Availability, or you can call it, you can give it any name that you like. And this is going to act as our database, which is going to contain all the information about the room availability. So as you can see, it contains 5 different columns. So we've got date, room type, total number of rooms, booked rooms, and available rooms. So you can see in the first column we've got the date, and this is 1st of July 2025. And as you can see, we've got some rooms that have been booked already, and we've got some available rooms. So our AI assistant is going to use this information in order to determine if there is an available room based on the date that our basically customers are going to provide during the conversation. After this, we need to create another Google Sheet, which will be used for storing the booking confirmations. So I've created this Google Sheet, which is called Hotel Booking Confirmations, and it contains 5 different columns. So I've got guest name, phone, check-in, check-out, and room type. So at the end of the conversation with our customers, if they confirm that they want to book a room, then their information is going to be stored in this Google Sheet. Next, what we need to do is we need to create a scenario in make.com, which is going to handle the booking process for us. And if you don't have an account in make.com, you can click on the link down in the description. It's completely free to sign up, and you also get 1000 free operations per month. So you can use those operations to experiment, test various automations or agents. And yeah, once you're ready, then you can sign up for a paid plan. So we need to create a new scenario. I've given it this name, which is hotel room availability. And the scenario is going to start with a custom webhook. So this is the webhook which our voice agent is going to interact with. So basically, the starting point will be this webhook. And after this, what's going to happen is we need to define this component, which is Google Sheets. And this is going to connect to the first Google Sheet that we created, which is room availability. And the purpose of this is basically this webhook is going to receive data which will contain the check-in dates and the room type based on the customer's preferences. And this Google Sheets component is going to basically use a filter based on the date, and it's going to check if there's any available rooms for the room type that our customer has provided. So if there is an available room for the details that our customer has provided, then it's going to hit this branch. So you can see we're using this router component, which basically breaks the pipeline into different branches. So the first branch is the positive branch, which is basically the room is available. And in this case, if the room is available, what we're going to do is basically we're going to create a message and say, okay, yes, this room is available from the dates that the customer has provided. And what we basically do is we return this information back to our voice agent so that the voice agent can pass on the message to our customer. So this is the structure that you need to follow in order to provide a response back to the voice agent. And yeah, so it needs to have content type, application JSON, and then this is how you pass on the response to the voice agent. And we do something similar for the negative case when the room is not available. So we follow this branch, and again, in here we create a message and we're just saying, okay, this room is not available. And then we basically pass on this message back to our voice agent. So once we have created this hotel room availability scenario, we need to create one more scenario, which will be much simpler than the first one. And this scenario is going to be responsible for saving the booking details. So basically, whenever a customer confirms their desired room type, check-in and check-out dates, and we've checked that there is a room that meets the criteria. So at the end of the call, we need to save the booking details, and basically the booking details will be sent by the voice agent to a webhook again. And then from this webhook, what we're going to do is we're going to insert the information or the booking details into our second spreadsheet, which we created. So in here, you can see that we have the guest name, phone number, check-in date, we've got checkout date, and we also have the room type. So the next step would be to go to VAPI.ai and create the actual voice assistant. If you don't have an account with VAPI, you can click on the link down below in the description. And in this case, you will need to basically put in some money, and yeah, so you'll get like some credits when you put some money into your account, and you can use that to experiment and test it. So it's kind of cheap because, yeah, as you can see on the screen, you get the cost as you build your voice agent. You can see that this voice agent for a hotel receptionist, it costs like 9 cents per minute, which is okay, I guess. So once you have logged into VAPI, what you need to do is you need to click on this button, which is create an assistant. Then you can give a name to your assistant and then click on OK. After this, what you need to do is basically you need to select a model for your agent. In this case, I'm using OpenAI as a provider, and then the model is basically GPT-4o Mini. And the message mode is the assistant speaks first. The first message that our assistant is going to say is this one. So, Sunrise Stay in Hotel, how may I assist you today? And after this, we need to provide the system prompt. So basically, this is our full system prompt that our AI agent is going to use in order to perform the hotel booking process. And as you can see, there's different steps in here which basically guide the agent on how to process the booking step by step. So you can see when the user provides the room type, check-in date, checkout date, then use the tool check availability. So we're going to look at this tool and another tool in a second. And yeah, so once all the information has been processed, then basically the assistant is going to call another tool, which is save booking details. And I'm going to take you through the two tools which are attached to this assistant. So once you have entered your system prompt, then you need to configure the voice. So in this case, I'm using VAPI as the voice provider, and the voice that I've chosen is Elliot. The transcriber is by default Deep Gram, and it's basically an English transcriber. And after this, you've got the tools. So you can see that there's two different tools which are attached to our voice agent. And I'm going to show you what each of these tools does in a second. So we're now looking at the tools section in VAPI. So from the menu, you can basically select tools, and then you can click on this button, create tool, and you need to create a function. And the first function or the first tool is called check availability. And you need to give it a meaningful description which explains exactly what this is supposed to do. And you can see in here, check the room availability by providing the following inputs. So this is going to use the details from the conversation which are captured. And it's going to provide the room type, check-in date, and check-out date. We're specifying the current year, and then we're giving it some basically information about how to provide the dates or the format that it needs to use to basically provide the dates. And at the end, we're saying, okay, the webhook is going to return a response in JSON, parse this accordingly, and look at the message before you confirm the availability. And after this, we need to define some parameters. So basically, the parameters are the values which will be sent to our webhook. And in this case, we've got booking details, which is of type object. And basically, this object is going to contain these three fields: room type, check-in date, and check-out date. So this information will be available in make.com. So when we send this to the webhook, then we can basically process this information. So the second tool that we need to create is save booking details. As the name suggests, this tool is responsible for basically saving the booking details once the user has confirmed all the details about their booking. And yeah, again, we're providing some basically default inputs just so it knows how to parse the data and how to send it to our webhook. And again, as parameters, we've defined just one parameter, which is called booking details of type object. And basically this object is going to contain the customer's name, phone number, from date, to date, and room type. So once we have created the two different tools in VAPI and we've assigned them to our assistant, now it's time for us to test the whole pipeline. If you want to assign your voice assistant to an actual phone number that people can call, then you can check one of my previous videos. I'm going to add a link somewhere on the screen. And in this video, I explain step by step on how to buy a number from Twilio and how to add it to VAPI so that whenever someone calls this number, basically the assistant is going to pick up the call and it's going to do what it is supposed to do. So you can use different assistants, you can plug and play however you want. And so let's go ahead and test the whole pipeline. So first, what we want to do is we want to run this scenario, which is hotel room availability. And we also want to run the other scenario, which is hotel room booking details. And once the two scenarios are up and running, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call the assistant and let's see what happens. Sunrise Stay Inn Hotel. How may I assist you today? I would like to book a room. I'd be happy to help you with that. Could you please let me know the type of room you'd like to book, standard, premium, or suite, along with your check-in and check-out dates? Yes, I would like to book a standard room and check-in is on 1st of July, check-out 5th of July. Hold on a sec. Great news. A standard room is available from July 1st to July 5th, 2025. Would you like to go ahead and book it? Yes, please. Wonderful. Could you please provide me with your full name and phone number for the booking? Yeah, so my name is John Doe and my phone number is 111-222-333. This will just take a sec. Thank you, John Doe. Your booking for a standard room from July 1st to July 5th, 2025 has been successfully made. If you have any other questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask. Enjoy your stay at Sunrise Stay Inn. Thank you. Bye-bye. You're very welcome. Have a great day, and we look forward to welcoming you to Sunrise Stay Inn. Goodbye. As you can see, this was our first conversation with our AI voice agent. And as you saw on the screen, both of the scenarios run successfully. So in the first scenario, we followed the happy path where the router component, it redirected our pipeline to the positive path, which is basically this one, where the room is available. And yeah, so in the second scenario, we successfully saved the data. And now what we can do, basically we need to check this Google Sheet just to make sure that our booking details were successfully saved. So what we need to do is we need to come to this hotel booking Google Sheet, and yeah, there you go. So we've got the data. So we've got the guest name, we've got the phone number, we've got the check-in date, we've got the checkout date, and we also have the room type. So at this point, you have a fully functional voice-based hotel bookings agent using VAPI and Make.com. And as you noticed, there's like very slight or no delay at all between the questions that I asked and the responses that I got back from the agent. So if you want this scenario, or actually if you want these two scenarios and the system prompt, you can basically comment down below the video and I will get back to you with all the information. And if you're interested in building voice agents and any kind of chatbots or automations, you can join my school community. The link should be down below in the description. It's completely free to join. And yeah, there's plenty of resources. There's also a short programming course on Python just to get you up to speed. And yeah, there's a bunch of resources to do with automations, voice agents. Thank you very much for your time and see you in the next video.